Hello again. I need a haircut. But that's not what we're talking about this week. This week we're going to address a question which I am probably asked more than any other question, which is, how much does it cost to live in LA? I'm moving to Los Angeles. How much should I save? Okay, well, first of all, saving is not the answer. You shouldn't count on being a successful actor in the first year, in the first 2 years. Frankly, you shouldn't count on it. So unless you're planning on moving home when your money runs out, which is stupid, expect to get a job. But how much does it cost a month to live here? Now, that's a good question. I made a list. I have it right here. Okay, well, we'll start with the biggest expense, which is going to be rent. Now, you can get a studio apartment for $800 or less. Now, yeah, it's not going to be in Beverly Hills or West Hollywood or Burbank even. It's going to be somewhere like Van Nuys or North Hollywood. But that's how much you can get it for, and that's how much you can live off of. Now, if you get a roommate, you can get a nicer place or a cheaper place, but then you got to deal with a roommate. So unless you're moving out with somebody who wants to split the rent with you, I don't recommend moving in with someone you don't know, because I've heard horror stories about that. Luckily, I have never experienced a horror story about that. But anyway, moving on. Food. $100 a month should cover it. Now, obviously, it depends on your taste, but I'm saying you can live off of. This is not organic food. This is standard canned food, stuff you buy at the grocery store. Not all canned, but, stuff you buy at the grocery store. Not nice stuff. And we're not talking about eating at restaurants, because that'll get you by like a week if you eat at restaurants. Fast food, no, that's cheap. You can do that, although I wouldn't recommend it because that stuff sucks. So, yeah, 100 a month. That's what I say. That's about what I spend because I don't have fancy tastes. Then we can move on to phone bill. About $80 a month. I know people that pay more. I know people that pay less. Most people I know don't pay more than $80. Gas bill. $100 to $150. Right now, gas is a little lower than it was a year or so ago. And also it depends on how much you drive. Like, most auditions I go to are in Hollywood. Occasionally I have to go over to the West Side. I'm in the Valley. But 100 usually covers it. I'm putting 150 on the list just in case, you drive a little more than me, you get more auditions than me, which will probably not happen when you first get to town. But casting websites, $30. Buy it by the year, it's cheaper. Internet, about $30 a month, I'm saying. That's, I think, about what I pay. And I don't think it would be much more than that. Power bill. It will never be more than $50 a month, even in the summertime. Sign up for Lifeline, low income. It will reduce the price. But even before I was on Lifeline, I never paid $50 a month. So that's rounding up a bit. Car insurance, car expenses, car registration. Assuming your car doesn't break down, because that's another whole thing. I figure about $100 a month, including your insurance or oil changes. Now, if you have a really bad insurance rate, maybe you'll pay more. But even when I was a new driver, and I was kind of a crappy driver when I first started driving, I crashed into people a lot, I never paid more than $100 a month. That was probably about what I paid. A little less, so. Then health insurance. Now, if you're not making any money, if you don't have a job yet, you're Medi-Cal. You shouldn't have to pay anything. I don't know the details of that. Even if you do have to pay, it shouldn't. I looked it up on the site just for you, and it shouldn't be more than like $100 a month for the very lowest tier basic insurance that makes Obama not come after you with his minions. So that rounds up, that doesn't round up, that adds up to about $1,500 a month. I actually spend less than that on my living expenses. So it's definitely doable. No, it's not glamorous. That does not include acting classes, because I don't know what kind of classes you want to take. There's anywhere from $30, no, there's not $30, $60 a month to hundreds of dollars a month. So. And that's also not a living expense. That's something for your career, which you should do, but it's not a living expense. Same thing, headshots, you need to have them taken, but you can spend anywhere from a couple hundred to $1,000, which I don't recommend. and other things. Doesn't include entertainment. Doesn't include if you want to go out and drink, going to go to the movies, and if you want to date, oh, if you're a guy, you're fucked, because dating is expensive. Even if it's not a high maintenance woman, it's still expensive. Just driving around and even just affordable stuff, it adds up real quick. Unless you just stay in with her. But now I'm getting off subject. It doesn't include buying a car. Come to town with a car, or if you're coming from far away, you don't want to drive, expect to come here and buy a car, buy a reliable car, because you don't want to worry about repairing it and all that. So that's another chunk of money you need to have ahead of time. And of course, standard first last month rent when you get an apartment. So, it's going to be expensive. But like I said, best to find a job. I think I'm going to wrap this up now because this is probably the longest video I've recorded. And subscribe to my videos, give me validation, and like my videos, and watch my videos. And I'm out.